Wait a minute. Okay. There you go. All right, nice and easy today. Difference of squares is like the easiest kind of factoring problem you're going to see. It comes down to this basic formula. A squared minus b squared equals, my formula for a second. Good thing I wrote myself some notes. Okay, so a squared minus b squared equals a plus b times a minus b. So we notice a squared is going to be represented by x or whatever variable they pick. B squared is going to be this constant. And to find the roots, we just want to take the square root, right? And it's difference of squares. The limiting factor here, the only time this is going to work is if there's no middle term here. So it's just going to be an x squared and then a number by itself. Okay, so some of these are real easy. Like this one here, just x squared minus 64. So I want to know what is the square root of 64. Hopefully, since you know your perfect squares, you know square root of 64 is 8. So then this is going to simplify to x plus 8, and then x minus 8. If we FOIL that out, just to check, remember first, so x squared, outer, x times negative 8 is negative 8x. Inner terms, 8 times x is positive 8x. And then last, 8 times negative 8 is negative 64. And because our two roots are the same, just opposites, these middle terms will always cancel out. And we're left with x squared minus 64, which is what you began with. Okay? So you don't have to do the FOIL part every time. All we really need to do is take the square root of this number at the end. Then that is going to represent our answer. So we can say for this one, our answers are 8 and negative 8. There's our little set notation there. Camera's kind of off a little bit. There we go. Okay, the only way they can make this a little bit more difficult, so this isn't like a total cakewalk, is if they give you 3x squared minus 243, and then you're like, oh, wait a minute, I have a number next to x squared. What do I do with that? That's fine. So we're just going to factor that out first. So I'm going to divide, or I don't want to divide, I want to factor, I want to take a 3 out. Okay? So if I take 3x squared, if I divide that by 3, I'm left with just x squared, right? Minus, and then 243, well, we want to take a 3 out of that, so 243 divided by 3 is 81. Okay? So all I did there is I factored a 3 out. I'm going to leave the 3 there. You don't need to, but later on we're going to see that the answer wants you to leave this here. Okay? So still equivalent. And then I want to factor this part here. Notice we have x squared minus 81. We're back to the difference of 2 squares. So I can simplify this part here. Is going to become x plus 9, x minus 9, because the square root of 81 is 9. We can leave this 3 over here if we want to. But really, this is our focus. X plus 9, x minus 9. Which means our roots are going to just be 9 and where is my marker? There it is, negative 9. Okay. So if you just have x squared, you just take the square root of c, or b in this case, since there's no middle term. So just take the square root. If you see a coefficient in front of x squared, factor that out first, and then with what's left over, take the square root again, and that will be your 2 answers. Not too bad, hopefully. If you're out of trouble though, just let me know. Where'd my mouse go? Huh.